This is Game Set Match Kentucky, episode 34, recorded on Friday, November 10th, 2023, entitled Veterans Day Off. Hey everybody, it's time for another episode of Game Set Match Kentucky, where we talk about all things related to the Central Kentucky Tennis Series and probably a whole lot more that you never asked for. We are recording on Friday, November 10th. I'm Chris Godby, the chairman and one of the founders of the CKTS, where the lines are good and sandbagging is for golf and probably pickleball too. Maybe they sandbag in that too. I am at my work office in Russell Springs, Kentucky. Wanted to bring this up really quick, Chad. Last time I referred to this as Studio B. I don't think that's correct. You know, I think that your studio should be Studio B. Okay. Yeah. And my old studio is Studio A. And
this is C.
This is Studio C.
Yeah. I follow Studio your C. line of thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am in Studio C. And Chad is at Studio B in Scottsville, Kentucky. How have you been?
I've been well. How about yourself?
Pretty good, I guess. Still rehabbing the foot, coming right along. And I am off work today because we are closed for the Veterans Day, observance of the Veterans Day holiday.
And I am as well.
You're also off for Veterans Day.
We are observing Veterans Day on Friday.
That's awesome. So, veterans in your family?
Yeah, my grandfather served during World War II. He was in the, I believe it's the predecessor to the Air Force. He was in the Army Air Corps, and he worked on the guns of fighter planes in North Africa and Italy, the early part of World War II.
And what's his name?
Albert McHenry.
Albert McHenry.
And then his son, which is my uncle, he also served in the Navy as well. So those are the two veterans in my immediate family. And then my father-in-law, I guess I should also include him. My father-in-law was drafted into the Army in Vietnam. He was never deployed. He was actually living in Germany, preparing to have to go to Vietnam when the war ended. And he served the remainder of his term in Germany, and then came back to the United States.
My father was in the Air Force, Gary Godby, salute, Dad. And my wife's grandfather, C.V. George, was in World War II. And my wife's uncle, who I also claim is my uncle, Morris George, served in the Army during Vietnam. So salute to all the veterans out there, if any of you are listening.
Yeah, this is the holiday that you're supposed to celebrate and show your appreciation for all veterans. Yes. I don't know why I always felt like this was an important thing going back to my radio days to distinguish, but Memorial Day is for those who have given their life to our country. Yes. Veterans Day is for all those
living or dead.
Living or dead.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, today on this episode of Game Set Match Kentucky, we will look back at CKTS Awards Day from just a couple of weeks ago. And we also have some other awards to speak about, but let's start with those CKTS Awards first. On Sunday, October 29th, the CKTS held its 21st annual Awards Day. For the third year in a row, we booked the Buchanan Indoor Facility in Bowling Green and reserved a block of courts for our CKTS family to enjoy some free indoor tennis for a few hours before we assembled in Meeting Room 1. Is it Meeting Room 1 or Meeting Room A, Chad?
It is Meeting Room 1.
Yes, I got that right.
The only meeting room.
It's the only meeting room.
Yeah. There used to be two, and one of them is now a branch of the library.
It's now a library.
It's now just the meeting room.
Okay, so the meeting room, we met there to present this year's awards. As always, we gave out division awards to those who were champions and runners-up in our 25 divisions. We also honored those who played in all 8 of our 2023 tournaments. Chad, let's name off this year's runners-up and championship winners.
In men's C doubles, we had co-champions, and that was Brady Jackson and Richard Jackson.
In men's C singles, the runner-up this year was Jamison Roberts, and the champion was Kyle Owsley.
In mixed B doubles, the runners-up were Amber Wolf and Brian Coley, and the winners were Evan Brown and Jessica Coley. I'm sorry, Jessica Owsley. Used to be Coley.
Right.
Jessica Owsley was the winner. Her brother, Brian, was the runner-up.
In women's B doubles, there was a tie for runner-up, Allie Evans and Jessica Owsley, and the champion was Amber Wolf.
In men's B doubles, Van Patterson was the runner-up, and June Tomioka was the champion.
In women's B singles, we only had a champion this year named Kay Faisal.
In men's B singles, Claude Bimford was the runner-up, and June Tomioka was the winner.
In girls 12 and under singles, the runner-up was Ellie Yan, and the champion was Leela Owsley.
In boys 12 singles, Mason Hales was the runner-up, and Isaiah Litton was the champion.
In girls 14 and under singles, Andrea Herrera is this year's runner-up, and the champion is Paisley Harris.
In boys 14 singles, Isaiah Litton was the runner-up, and Miles Mudd was the champion.
For girls 16 and under singles, there was a tie for runner-up with Andrea Herrera and Claire Riney. The champion was Paisley Harris.
In boys 16 singles, Josiah Castaner was the runner-up, and Sam Nelson was the champion.
So I want to back up to girls 14 and girls 16 singles. Paisley Harris wins both of them. That's not easy to pull off, two age divisions like that. So congratulations to her.
Yeah, you got to play in a lot, but you also have to be successful in a lot.
That's a lot of singles to play.
It is
in the same tournament.
Only the kids can do that.
And they keep winning, and that's how they end up with that situation.
And that makes, if anyone has ever tried to do that, and if anybody's ever run a tournament, that makes for really long Sundays sometimes.
Yes.
When you have players that advance to the semis and the finals in two age divisions.
So where did we leave off?
I think boys 16 singles, so mixed 18 will be next.
All right, mixed 18 and under doubles. The female runner-up is Kara Clark. The male runner-up is Salem Harris. The female champion is Alexis Hales, and the male champion is Samuel Bryan.
In girls 18 doubles, we had co-champions, and they were Addison Hales and Claire Riney.
In boys 18 and under doubles, the runner-up was Nolan Parsons, and by a 2-point edge, Josiah Castaner is the champion.
In girls 18 singles, Chloe Dickens is the runner-up, and Addison Hales is the champion.
In boys 18 and under singles, Jackson Donovan is runner-up, and Braden Johnson is the champion.
In men's 40 singles, Brandon Harris is the runner-up, and Jackson Grover is the champion.
In men's 40 and over doubles, Don and Steve Humphreys, also known as the Humphreys brothers, are co-champions.
In mixed open doubles, Kiana Kim is the female runner-up, and Darren Polston is the male runner-up. The winners were the brother and sister duo of Abby Helm and Nathan McQuarrie.
In women's open doubles, Claire Riney is the runner-up, and Minda Schaefer is the champion.
In men's open doubles, there are two runners-up. That's Mason Baldwin and Darren Polston. And the men's open doubles champion is Nathan McQuarrie.
Nathan wins by only a half a point. A win is a win. Women's open singles, Parker Lawley is the runner-up, and Kayana Kim is the champion.
In men's open singles, Connor Adams and Jackson Grover were the runners-up, and Braden Johnson was the champion.
Congratulations to all of the champions and runners-up and award recipients. Before I forget, too, we had two players that participated. They were awarded for playing in all 8 of our 2023 tournaments, and that's Jamison Roberts and Larry Kohler. Congratulations to those guys, because that is a tough feat to pull off as well.
I don't even know how they do it. I mean, my summers are busy. Yours are busy. So to find the time to not only be able to play in the tournaments, but to travel to all the tournaments is pretty impressive. And
I've
the
gotten the
tournament,
all 8 a few times. This
yeah.
year I got the 0. I got
And the
0
tournament
tournaments.
directors appreciate those folks who play in all 8.
That's right. Absolutely. Would you like to tell us about Vision Cabinet Source before we move on?
Vision Cabinet Source is a kitchen and bath cabinet supplier that ships all over the United States and has for over a decade. Whether you're building a new home or renovating a room in your home, Vision Cabinet Source can provide you with classic cabinet styles that are well built and affordable. You also find that they go above and beyond to provide services that exceed expectations, from answering your initial questions to ensuring that you're happy with the final delivered product. Every Vision cabinet is built upon their promise to deliver well-constructed cabinets made from solid hardwoods, classic, versatile designs that complement your style, affordable options that fit your budget, on-time delivery with shipment within 24 hours, and accessible personal service that you can count on. They have many different painted and stained lines of cabinets that are stocked at their warehouse in Campbellsville. Making these beautiful cabinets, they have a 17-step finishing process that assures top quality craftsmanship. Go online and look at their styles and designs for yourself, and you'll agree that they do great work at an affordable price. Check them out on their website at visioncabinet.com, or you can call them at 270-465-3222. Tell them you heard about Vision Cabinet Source right here on Game Set Match Kentucky.
In other awards news, my co-host, Chad Young, was recently honored to be named the State Girls Tennis Coach of the Year by the National Federation of State High School Associations. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I had never heard of this award before, much less known anybody who has won it before. Can you tell us more about this award and how it came to be?
Well, somebody's going to be pretty disappointed that you haven't heard about this award before, because one of our tournament directors not only won the state award in the past. Karen Henson was the district or the section winner in the past, a couple of years ago. But basically, the NFHS.
Don't tell her.
As you said, is an association of all high school athletic associations. So the KHSA is part of the NFHS.
I've heard of the NFHS. Yes.
And so anyway, they select a girls and a boys tennis coach, and a girls and a boys basketball coach, and a girl and a girls volleyball coach, soccer coach. All the sports that the KHSA sponsors, they select a coach of the year for that state. And then those state winners, like we'll talk about in some other awards, then go on to sectional and then national competitions as well. So I received an email from the KHSA probably a month ago or so. I think it was over fall break. And they let me know that I had been selected as the girls' coach of the year. I don't know his name. I know that the boys' coach at Covington Catholic was the boys' winner, and they won the school's first ever state championship. So we didn't win a state championship. We were runners-up in the region, but I'm very honored. We had a great year. I think there was a little bit of carryover from the year before when I was named the Coaches Association girls coach of the year, but I'm very humbled to be recognized.
Well, it's certainly awesome. And you recently were recognized at a Warren County School Board meeting, right?
I did. I did. Did you see that online somewhere? I didn't even see that.
I did see it online, I think, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Saw it on Facebook.
It was actually last night. I was recognized by the school board. So a nice recognition. My athletic director got up and said some nice words about my impact on our program. I'm the only coach in South Warren history. There are 3 or 4 that have been there since the very beginning, but I'm very proud of our program. I'm proud of our current and former athletes, and appreciate all the assistant coaches who have helped out over the years and are a big part of the success that we've had at South Warren.
I think they need to give you a raise, don't you?
I wouldn't fight it.
Yeah, maybe a company car,
These are things I shouldn't talk about. I
Extra
make
vacation days.
I make the same amount of money. Now I'm not a teacher. I don't work in the school system.
Yeah.
So I'm what they call a paraprofessional.
Mm-hmm.
I make the same amount now that I did when I started back in 2010.
It's a crime, I'm telling you. It's a crime. No,
Not
we
a
don't
whole
do
lot
it.
of-
We don't coach for money. I
No.
don't coach anymore, but when I used to coach, I didn't do it for the money.
Yeah.
So
We certainly don't do it for the money.
that's not to say you couldn't use the money.
I wouldn't turn it down. I mean, if they
Sure.
said, "Hey, we'd like to give you a little bit more money," I wouldn't say, "No, I'm good." Put that to the football budget.
Okay.
So it's very nice for your program to be recognized, because all of us who coach high school, you put a lot of work, a lot of hours into what we do, and so it's nice to be recognized for the sacrifices that you and your family make, and the hard work that the kids make, and the parents put a lot into our program as well. So it's nice recognition. Just has my name on it.
Well, speaking of recognition, there's more to come in just a moment. But first, this word about Cumberland Family Medical Centers. Family Medical Centers is a community health center with more than 200 locations throughout South Central and a portion of North Central Kentucky in 31 counties. Chad, you're not from Kentucky. Do you know how many counties there are in Kentucky?
120.
That's exactly right. There are 120. So just over a quarter of the counties in Kentucky, Cumberland Family serves. They've been providing health care to Kentuckians for over 16 years. They provide complete primary care services and also offer pediatrics, OB/GYN, oral health services, school-based health centers, behavioral health services, substance use disorder treatment, a pediatric wellness program, a workplace wellness program, a discount pharmacy program, outreach services, local scholarship opportunities, and more. Family Medical Centers has been recognized as a national quality leader by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Check them out on their website at cfmcky.com, or they're on Facebook at facebook.com/Family Medical Centers. They're on Instagram and Twitter at Cumberland FMC. A big thank you to Family Medical Centers.
Did you think you were going to stump me on that one? Did you think you had me?
Well, I mean, I don't know how many counties there are in Indiana where you're from. I have no idea. I know that there's probably less because Kentucky has a lot of counties because they're small, I think, in comparison to what most other states do. So there's more of them. I'm going to take a wild guess that Indiana has 64 counties.
I don't know myself.
You don't know? Okay.
I want to say it's a little bit more than that. Educated guess would be 82.
All right, I'm going to look it up right now.
But yeah, the previous gig as a talk radio host that dealt with politics, the 120 number came up several times, so that's why I kind of knew that one.
Well, Indiana's not far behind. They have 92 counties.
90. See, 82. That's I knew that there was I knew it was less than 100, and I knew it was a 2. So I feel okay about that guess.
Well, I wasn't trying to make you look bad. I just wondered if you knew how many counties there were
been
because
there.
you're not from Kentucky. So
I haven't lived in Indiana in 25 years at least. So.
Okay. So since you were 5 years old, you've lived in Kentucky. I'm gonna do that math.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right, let's continue with the awards theme of today's show, shall we? Several weeks ago, USTA Kentucky announced the winners of their annual awards. These winners are nominated by individuals from all over Kentucky, and then they're chosen by an awards committee. Chad, let's take a look at the list of winners and see if we recognize any of the names on here. I'll let you start with the first few.
The Adaptive Tennis Award will go to Laura Kinney. The Adult Player of the Year will go to Michael Cunningham, who was the tennis coach at Georgetown. And the Benny Purcell Coach of the Year goes to Sherry Vincent. Sherry's the coach at Grayson County, We had a couple of kids this year in the winners, and we've certainly had some Grayson County kids play in some CKTS tournaments over the years.
Yes, we have. All right, the Boys Scholastic Achievement Award goes to Sharia Jadhav. I hope I'm pronouncing that at least close, and I apologize. The Bruce Stone Educational Merit Award goes to Jane and Oscar Gamble. The CTA, or Community Tennis Association of the Year Award, goes to the Newburgh Tennis Association.
The D.D. Long Spirit Award goes to Chris Hamilton. The Diversity and Inclusion Champion is Bob Willis. And speaking of CKTS connections, the Family of the Year goes to the Deathridge family. And Tim Deathridge is the tournament director for the Gator Open, which we've had here in Bowling Green the last couple of years. And both of his children have played in a lot of CKTS awards over the last couple of years as well.
Very deserving for that family, for sure. The Girls Scholastic Achievement Award goes to Claire Hudson. The Junior Female Player of the Year Award goes to Ellie Hammond. The Junior Male Player of the Year goes to Landon Ikarma.
The junior team tennis coordinator of the year. You just heard him win, I think, the runner-up in the mixed B doubles award. That's Brian Coley.
Congratulations.
From Elizabethtown. The Mark Ragland Boys Sportsmanship Award goes to Michael East. And the Mary Lou Hambrick Girls Sportsmanship Award winner is Riley Bolden.
All right. Whoa, stop the presses. The Media Excellence Award goes to Chris Godby and Chad Young.
How about that? Who are these guys?
Yeah, who are those dudes? Yeah, just a couple of guys with computers and microphones and earpieces that hurt when you wear them for too long.
It's become far too infrequent, but occasional tennis players as well.
Yeah, occasional tennis players, yes. Yeah. The Most Improved Boy, oh my goodness. Nico, let me take a shot at this. Nico
Kliachkin.
Nico Kliachkin. And I am very sorry if I got that wrong. The Most Improved Girl is Isabella Lopez.
The Outstanding Parks and Recreation Award goes to the Mount Sterling Montgomery County Parks and Recreation Department. The Paulette Griffith Local League Coordinator goes to Stacy Rice and Sarah Ward. And the Special Tennis Event of the Year is the Julie Diddy Qualls free lessons that were offered.
All right, the Tennis Facility of the Year is the Greg Adams Tennis Facility at EKU. The Tennis Official of the Year is Ron Murphy, and the Tennis Professional of the Year is Susan Klein.
Of course, Ron passed away a few months ago, a longtime official at a lot of USTA championships. I guess the only remaining award there was the Tournament of the Year, which goes to the Thanksgiving tournament right on cue at the Louisville Indoor Racket Club, or LIRC for short.
There's one more. Maybe it's cut off on your screen.
Must be. What award?
Well, it's Volunteer of the Year. It goes to Ann Miller.
Oh, very good.
Okay. Sorry, I may have sent you one that was cut off at the bottom. I apologize. And congratulations to all of these winners. They'll be honored at the Kentucky Tennis Weekend at a luncheon on Saturday, January 27th. In Louisville. I'll see you there, Chad.
I'll be there for sure.
Okay.
And I'll say, I think I said it last year, this is a really, really good weekend of events that the USTA puts together. If you aren't serving, they could certainly use people to serve on the various boards and committees. But they have the committee meetings and the board meeting on Friday afternoon, and then the Hall of Fame event is Friday night. The community development workshop is Saturday morning, and then the awards program is on Saturday afternoon around lunchtime. And so it's a really, really good 24 hours, really, for Kentucky tennis.
I haven't seen the schedule yet. I don't know if it's out yet, but they've even had some events carry over into Sunday, like coaching clinics
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So it's an action-packed weekend that starts, I guess, on Friday afternoon at some point with committee meetings, and then the Hall of Fame, and then the workshops on Saturday morning, the luncheon, and then who knows what else. So. But, if when we have more details on that, we'll be sure to share those. Those that win a district award, like the winners that we just named, are automatically nominated for their sections awards. In this case, the Southern section. USTA Southern consists of Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. 9 states. I had to look that up, Chad. I don't have that from memory. I had to look that up. Yeah. I knew Florida was not part of it. They're their own section. There's so much tennis there. They're their own section. But anyway, and by the way, recording here on November 10th, this is breaking news because these Southern winners have been notified, but it is not published anywhere as of 2:30 p.m. on November 10th.
Yeah.
It's not on Southern's website. It's not on their social media. It's not on Kentucky, USTA Kentucky, or their social media yet.
You heard it here first.
And nobody told me I can't say it. So we're going to break it right here. And then by the time I edit this thing and it comes out, everybody will probably have known for a week. But no. So breaking news of the Kentucky District Award winners, 2 of those award winners from that list we just went over have moved on to be named as Southern Award winners. So first, congratulations to Chris Hamilton of Louisville. She won the D.D. Long Spirit Award in Kentucky, and she has also been named as the Marilyn Sherman Spirit Award for USTA Southern. Chris is involved in working with adult league championships all across Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, we've been fortunate to host a couple state championships over the last couple of years. Really, we've hosted mixed doubles in the past and some other events, but when the facility opened, we've had quite a few. We've had the mixed, we've had combo, we had the 55 and over state championship earlier this year, and then we just hosted the tri-level sectional. And Chris has always been a part of that. She works in the tournament room, which a lot of people don't ever see. But those folks work really, really hard to get people put on court and get scores in and all that stuff. So very, very excited for Chris.
That's awesome. I haven't met her yet, but I have sent her a message, and I am looking forward to meeting her.
So my question is, well, I don't want to jump ahead. I'll save my question for a few moments.
Okay.
So Chris is the winner. Congratulations.
All right. So then there's another Kentucky District winner that receives an award at Southern. How do we do this? It's once again Chris Godby and Chad Young.
Hey,
of the Game Set Match Kentucky podcast.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So my question was, I know how you knew we won. How did you know Chris won?
Oh, I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Okay.
In case we weren't allowed to know this yet. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. So
you have sources. That's how you
have to keep my sources to myself for the moment. But this is what the Southern Awards look like, by the way, or what they used to look like a few years ago. So I just carry mine with me from last time. I just take it with me everywhere.
So
I go. I sleep with it.
You're a repeat winner. Now I know that the website, the CKTS website, won this Media Excellence Award in the past. And then did this podcast win before my involvement?
Well, for the website, I've won Kentucky, but not Southern. No, the podcast won Southern, back in the year was 2019, but it was awarded in January 2020, just a few months before the world fell apart.
Yep.
So
in order to
my
win
second
this,
trip to Atlanta.
in order to win this a second time, you had to do something to greatly enhance the podcast, and I guess that was your co-host.
Was
right?
that adding you as a co-host? Yeah, that had to be it. Yeah, that had to be it. I'm sure that awards committee is looking it over and thinking, well, didn't this kid win before? Well,
But he's got a co-host
he
now.
did bring that guy on with him. I don't know. We'll let them have it. It's their turn, I guess.
It's pretty cool. I mean, that's
it is
really awesome.
I was right here in this office when I got the email just 2 days ago. Was totally not expecting it. And my office door was open, and there's a classroom right across the hall from me, and their door was open at the moment because the teacher didn't have a class right then. And I remember I was getting ready to get up and walk to a meeting, and I saw my email come up on my other screen, and I saw it in the first sentence, and I jumped out of my seat and I went, I pounded my fist on the desk, and I'm like, we got the Southern. And to their credit, that teacher across the hall never flinched, never moved a muscle. It's almost like they didn't even hear me. So no disturbance took place then, I guess, at that point. Well, Hank, I have unclipped myself now from this cable, and now
got a little too excited.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to reenact. I mean, I was excited, no kidding. I mean, it seemed like when this happened a few years ago, the USTA Kentucky notice came, and then just a few days later, the Southern award notice came, and this time it was like 6 weeks apart. So I just assumed it didn't happen, and I would check Southern's website to see who did win everything. Did anybody from Kentucky win anything? And I never saw anything. So I guess they're just a little different schedule than they used to be on. But
well, we hope that the world doesn't fall apart again in spring after the last win. I don't know that I want to go through another pandemic.
Hopefully not. So, but anyway, those awards for USTA Southern will be on January 20th in Atlanta, Georgia, and we'll take the stage with Chris Hamilton and the other Southern Award winners. But that's the only other one from Kentucky, and you and I will humbly accept the Mark Kaplan Media Excellence Award on January 20th.
Yeah, I remember last year because the indoor facility, the Warren County Tennis Facility where I work, we won the state award last year for Facility of the Year, and I remember that the winners who had won the sectional award had just gotten back from Atlanta last year, so that'll be pretty neat. It'll be 2 fun-filled weekends of tennis for us in January.
What are we going to wear, Chad? What are we going to wear?
I'm not going to say who you sound like now, but I don't know that we have to coordinate our outfits.
No, we are. No, we aren't going to match. No, it's not like we're a doubles team in that sense. No, but like I might use this as an excuse to get another suit.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Do you have a suit?
I do.
You don't have to wear a suit.
I did buy a new suit coat last year for the state awards. Mm-hmm. So can I wear the same suit coat for the
I don't know, Chad.
Southern Awards and the state awards? Am I going to be looked down upon for that?
You win so many times, so many different things. You probably need a rotation of suits, so that he's got like another award and he's wearing that jacket again. You know.
Sounds like a good Christmas present. I'm still looking for some Christmas ideas.
There you go. Okay. Well, you mentioned your facility award from last year, and along those lines, do you have some announcements to share about things coming up in Bowling Green or at that facility? Or
we have a couple tournaments coming up in December. We have a new type of event that we're going to be hosting. Another CKTS award winner is running that tournament. Evan Brown is running an event in December, the first weekend in December. And you may or may not have heard of the USTA's world tennis number. It's, and I'm probably not supposed to talk about these two in the same room. It's like the USDA's version of UTR. If you've heard of UTR, it's a rating system that takes into account your performance against other players, and your rating goes up or down based on how you do, how many games you win, so on and so forth. So this is a WTN event, and it's a one-day event. It is it's going to feature round robin tournaments based on your WTN, and you'll get 3 matches. It's going to be, I think, an 8-game pro set. But it's going to be a fun event because, I mean, one good thing about it is it's a one-day event. You know, you're going to get 3 matches, and the WTN is supposed to group you with players of likability. So hopefully it makes the matches really competitive and a good experience for everybody. And then we have a Hilltopper Classic tournament. It's a junior tournament coming up the following weekend in December. That is for juniors. I think there's 12, 14, 16, 18 and under singles and doubles. So that's a really good youth tournament that's coming up at the facility in December.
Well, as far as CKTS schedule, I know people are kind of watching and waiting for us to announce a 2024 schedule. That schedule is taking shape. We are waiting anxiously for USTA Kentucky to announce their schedule, which will happen probably within the next few weeks. And then we can kind of put the finishing touches on ours based on what they're doing and trying not to overlap weekends with adult 18 and over, adult 40 and over, state mixed, and events like that. So hopefully by December or sometime in December, we'll announce the schedule for 2024 for CKTS.
I would expect that our Christmas episode will include next year's tournament schedule.
We'll carry on the tradition of doing a holiday episode. You know, okay. It was Santa hats last year. Maybe it's elf ears this time.
I've got some ideas. Might spruce up things here in the background.
There you go. Hang some lights or something.
Yeah, okay. Maybe a little tree or something.
Yeah. Or we can have the show outside in the snow. There won't be any snow. There might be some snow.
It's still Kentucky.
Yeah, it's still. I'm wearing shorts today. It's November the 10th. I'm wearing shorts outside. So it has been nice. Nice weather outside. Well, if you have any announcements that you would like for us to share on a future episode of Game Set Match Kentucky, you can email them to info@gamesetmatchky.com. And after all of the celebration and announcements and awards and everything, it's time to serve out this episode. You know, so it's like we're up 6-3, 5-2, and we're serving it out. It's our serve. We're going to serve it out. So thanks to everybody who's listening or watching on Facebook and YouTube. You can subscribe to the audio of this podcast with any major podcast app like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Podcasts, Audible, Overcast. If you're not using one of those, what are you using anyway? I use Overcast as a podcatcher, by the way. Chad, what do you use?
Spotify.
You use Spotify for music and for podcasts?
Unless it's YouTube like ours, I mean, or Facebook. I'll go watch ours, okay. But there are a couple of podcasts that I mainly listen to, and so I'd usually go through Spotify on those.
Yep. Well, whatever app you listeners are using, if you would take the time to give us a 5-star rating and a review, a short review at least, we would really appreciate it, and it would help boost our ranking. You can visit GameSetMatchKY.com for listening to past episodes or reading show notes where we put links and things like that. You can go to our Facebook page at Game Set Match KY, or just search for Game Set Match Kentucky, the podcast. Also, the CKTS is on Facebook at CKTS Tour. You can also follow us on Twitter, or I should say X. You can follow us on X at Game Set Match KY. Chad's on X at Chad Young Tennis, and I am on X at Chris Godby. Thanks again to our sponsors, Vision Cabinet Source and Family Medical Centers. We're also accepting sponsorships for the upcoming year. So reach out to info@gamesetmatchky.com to inquire about that. I think, like we said, we'll be back on at least one more time for a holiday episode or something like that. And hopefully we'll have some more exciting tennis news to share. But until then, Hawkeye says we are out. Until next time, I'm Chris Godby with Chad Young, and this has been Game Set Match Kentucky.